Good rising, family. Got a few minutes here, so I was gonna have a little chance for us to kind of talk a little bit, come together, spend a little time together. Hope everyone's doing well. Give everybody a couple minutes to kind of come in. Hope everyone's doing well today. A little foggy over here in Cali today. We've got a lot of events going on, man. Things are just picking up all over the place, and it's just amazing to watch how things are playing out, how prophecy is playing out, and Most High willing, I'm going to come with another video later on, talking about the different levels of prophecy. Shalom, shalom, family. We're gonna learn a little something in some of these couple next few videos that are going to be coming out. That we're realizing that we're living in like alternate realities. We got like two different realities going on at the same time, and it's just amazing to be able to, when you get the understanding. Just like I did that video about when you have the correct understanding, or when the Most High enlightens you to something, you can then start to see things all over the place. You get an enlightenment everywhere. You can see your story everywhere. Once you have that understanding that the Most High enlightens you and gives you, you get more understanding from so many different areas. The Most High is everywhere. He's been everywhere. He's omnipresent. So therefore, our story is going to be everywhere. Our story is not just, in one book or in a book. You can see our story everywhere. You can see our story written about. The Gentiles write our stories. They put our stories in other books. They put our stories, everywhere. Because the Most High put our story in the stars. He put our stories in the zodiacs, and so you can see our story playing out in the skies. So, you're going to see our stories everywhere. But see, churches have made it seem as if we're only discussed and talked about in the Bible. And that's it. And the only place you can actually get, information about the Most High, or to them God, is at church or in a Bible. And that's it. But the Most High works, hey brother, 12, great seeing you. The Most High is everywhere. So therefore, would it not make sense that, our story would be everywhere? But see, that's what churches do. They try to limit where you can find the Most High. They try to limit, hey, you can only find him in these books. You can't go anywhere else to find, the Most High. You can only find him in the 66 books that we've approved. You can only find God in the church that we've approved. You can only find him in the four walls at our church. Anywhere outside of that, you can't find him. So, you understand how he's been put in a box by the Gentiles, so that everything else is happening around the world, you don't attribute it to him. Like you think about the Fibonacci numbers, and how the Fibonacci numbers are everywhere. You see them, in nature. You see them in our DNA. You see them in our fingertips. You see them in the way our hair grows and spirals and things like that. You see them in the universe, these Fibonacci numbers. I said, the Most High is showing you that he is everywhere. So these churches and these, organizations, they try to limit where you can find the Most High. You can only find him where they say you can find him. But see, that's why, like this is an obstacle course, and we are working our way back to the Most High. And and you can tell, like, when you start to get into certain books and other information, you can see how it affects the spirit world. You gotta understand that everything is playing out in the spirit world. So when you start to see like people's spirits really buck up against new information or going into certain areas, that's just the spirit world, showing their disdain and horror that we are figuring things out, that the Most High is opening up our understanding once again. We're not limited to only going to a certain place to get knowledge of the Most High. We're not limited to only going to a certain person to get knowledge of the Most High. The Pope does not have a direct line to the Most High. He does not have a direct line to the Most High. So you don't have to go to the Pope and get approval from him in order, in order to, get information about the Most High. That's not how this works. The Father is in control. I said he's the one that's in control of absolutely everything. You don't have to go to a man. You don't have to go to a priest. You don't have to go, that's not where you're going to get knowledge of the Most High. He give you knowledge wherever he wants. He might use a person, I said, but you're right. You're not going to hold us down anymore as far as, no, you can't look here. No, you can't go there. This is evil. That's why I said we had all the information at first. The Most High downloaded it to Adam. He gave it to Enoch, right? Gave it to Abraham. Moses had it. Gave it to David. Gave it to Solomon. Gave him all this information. Okay? So, having information is huge. And you see, that's why, what kind of information were they getting downloaded? They got math, science, astronomy, astrology, all these different things to make our lives better. All the Most High wanted to actually give us more understanding about everything that was around us. It was not just religious information. And see, they put the Most High in a box. It's all about religion. So if you want to know about the Most High, you can only go to a church. You can only go here. You can only go to these people. You see? And we're understanding now. We should all understand that he's not limited to that. The Most High is not limited to just working through, a small percentage of people. I remember in the Bible, it talks about how one person thought that, I'm the only person that's working for the Most High. And he actually revealed that there was 7,000 more people that he was using to do his will. You guys remember that story? I'm sure you guys can put it in the comments here. So, like I said, the Most High is using many of us to work his plan. He's using many of us to work his plan. And exactly, he's unlimited. The Most High has made everything. So to sit here and make it sound like, he's only dealt with us through religion, I said the Most High is in absolutely everything, and he's absolutely everywhere. So, when you start getting into some of these books, I said we're going to get into, I said Most High will, and I already have everything set up for another video. But it's you start getting into all these other books, and it's our story's here. Our story's there. It's talking about the Illuminati. We were the illuminated ones. When you understand that, it talks about all the Illuminati and this, and that, where did they get their information from? They got that from us. They got all that information from us. They got their opportunity to get it, and they became the illuminated ones. How is that? Because we lost our understanding. We lost our knowledge. So therefore, they became illuminated. They became the ones on top, and we got dropped down to the bottom because we lost all of our knowledge and understanding. You don't understand how important knowledge is and understanding is. It's huge, So, and it's you get these negative. They took the information and they've used it in an evil way. Okay, doesn't make the information evil. Okay, because they've used it because that's in their nature. That's how they are. You can't, fault a dog for being a dog. You can't fault, a cat for being a cat. You can't. That's what they are. That's what they're made to do. Okay, so we got to definitely understand that. So, and when the information comes back into the Most High's children's hands, that's when everything will go back to the way it's supposed to be. And they don't want that. They don't want us getting our information back, because then we become illuminated. Then we become the ones on the top again. We become the head once again. That's how it was before. So it's not a new thing. It's just returning back to the way things were before, right? And that's what a lot of people think. It's a new thing. It's not anything new. We were on top before. That's just been hidden by the other nations. That's why, in Psalms 83, it talks about them taking everything away from us. And the name of Israel shall be no more, won't be known. Why is that? Because, and see, now people don't realize that we were the ones that were on top originally. And things are going to go back to the way it was. Exactly. We are still the illuminated. Exactly. We are definitely back as a people, and we're becoming illuminated more and more each day. But as you can see, the churches have been set up to keep that illumination process at bay. And that's been huge, that's been absolutely huge. And we're going to get into that a lot more, Most High willing, later on, because, this guy's about to back up, he's not going to hit me here. So yeah, it's just, That's exactly what you're seeing right now. You're seeing the Most High illuminate his people, give us this knowledge and understanding, not limit us anymore to, you can only get knowledge of the Most High here. You can only get knowledge of the Most High there. Okay? See, I want to share a little something that the Most High shared with me this morning. Okay? And we all understand what's going on with this issue with myself and this other group. Okay? It's just amazing, because what you're going to see is that the things that are happening is just a microcosm of what the Most High is going to show the whole world. Okay? The Most High gave his people the knowledge initially. We were the ones that had the knowledge. We were the ones, our forefathers were given the knowledge, understanding from the Most High. Started with Adam, handed all the way down to his posterity. We know he gave it to Enoch, okay? Moses, Abraham, etc., his children, okay, etc. We all understand that, right? Well, when the Gentiles got a hold of our information, they eventually made it seem as if they were the ones that were the originators of this information. And what did they do with the people of the Most High? They pretty much relegated them to, horrible, lowly status. They pretty much said that they were like the worst things on earth. They were they had nothing to do with this knowledge, and that the Gentiles were the ones who, were the ones who started with all this knowledge, understanding from jump. And if you want to know about the Most High, you have to go to the Gentiles. You have to join their church, right? But the originators, the ones that the Most High was dealing with originally, the ones that he used to bring this knowledge to the world, the Gentiles went ahead and made it seem as if they've relegated them to, just pretty much the lowest status possible. And they tried to assassinate the Most High's people's character, right? They tried to make it seem as if, the Most High's people are evil. And that the Most High's people, are not the ones who brought this information out. They were not the ones that are used by the Most High. They are the worst of the worst. And that if you want to know the Most High, if you want to know God, you have to follow our churches. We're the only ones that can, that have this knowledge, understanding. And if you want to get close to God, you need to follow the way we've set things up. We're the only ones. We're the only ones. Anyone else, is a lie. Okay? They're not the Israelites. Those are the ones who had the information originally. We're the ones who brought this out. So if you look at it just shows you how the Most High, he's the ultimate chess player. All we are pieces in his game. Okay? Exactly. Now you look exactly at what's happening right now. How the Most High has done exactly the same thing with his truth. The Most High used me. He gave me, he used me to bring out the Book of Mormon. When I brought out the Book of Mormon, I received many attacks. People were calling me crazy, calling me evil, calling me satanic, calling me this, calling me that. Okay? So, and I'm like, all right, I'll be that, whatever, man. I said, that doesn't bother me, whatever. Okay? But eventually, another group agreed and like, oh, okay, that sounds good and whatever else. And they started going into the Book of Mormon. Cool. I mean, hey, if that's what the Most High enlightened them to see the same thing that I saw, great, beautiful. Okay? So this other group's been teaching about the Book of Mormon, brought out a couple other books, been doing a great job bringing out information, beautiful. All of a sudden, they made it seem as if the person who actually was used to bring out this information was the worst person ever, most evil person ever, and attacked him and made it seem as if he's just evil, and he's bringing out all this horrible stuff and this and that. Assassinated his character, kind of like what the Gentiles have done to the Israelites, right? And then they made it seem as if they're the only ones who, if you want to make it to heaven, that they're the only ones that are teaching the correct doctrine and everything else, just like the Gentiles have done, right? Relegating the person who actually was used to bring the information to the world at first here, just like they did with our people, the Israelites, to the lowest status and everything else. And that they're the only ones that can actually teach you the truth and keep you in line, but you can't listen to him anymore. You can't look at these books, you can't look at this information and things like that. Okay? So And like I said, I'm not saying it for anything. I'm just saying how the Most High is working these things. I didn't really understand why he was making the things go the way he is, but I know that eventually the Most High is in charge. The Most High is just showing us as a nation what the Gentiles has been doing to the Hebrews this entire time. Kill assassinate the character of the person who was used to bring the information, lift themselves up as if they're the only ones that are teaching the truth, and that you have to actually follow them, and if you want to make it into heaven. Exactly the same thing that happened to our people in the beginning. So this shows you how history repeats itself, and why it's so important for us to know history. Now, I'm not saying anything negative. I said because it's not all of us are nothing but pawns in the Most High's game. I said I've never gotten into it as far as that's concerned. I said because, hey, we're all on our own walks. Most High has me doing my thing. Other groups do their thing. I'm not here to bash what other people do. I said because ultimately we're all doing the will of the Most High. And a lot of times we do things that we don't even realize we're doing it because the Most High makes us do certain things. Hey, trust me, when I started reading about the Book of Mormon, and the Most High was like wanting me to bring it out, I was like, this is not going to go well. This is not going to go well. I said, because I already know Israel and how they do with anything new. First thing first is attack and everything else. But, Most High said, do it. So I'm like, okay, Most High, I'll do it. I says, I'll do whatever it is that you want me to do. Okay? Knowing that I know how Israel is, so Israel's going to anything new. I said it's going to be it's going to be a struggle. And so Ahab did that, got attacked for a very long time. Cool, whatever. But that's to be expected. Like I said, that's par for the course. So it's just amazing how the Most High has done exactly the same thing right now. He did exactly the same thing with this situation. Used Israel to bring out the information. Another group gets a hold of the information. They pretty much attack the character of the people who brought the information at first. They make it seem as if they're the only ones that actually can interpret the information correctly, and that if you want to make it into heaven or whatever, you need to follow everything that they say. No different. So I thought that was absolutely amazing how the Most High has done that. I said, and ultimately we're all going to make our own decisions as far as what we're going to do. But I always tell people all the time, study to show thyself approved. Study for yourself. Do not depend on myself. I said, don't depend on anyone else. Study for yourself. Listen to everyone. Listen to whoever it is that you want to listen to. Listen to whoever the Most High, puts in your path if you feel led to. But then ultimately you need to make the decision. But that's going to take study. That's going to take time. And that's the thing with a lot of people. A lot of people don't like to study. A lot of people don't. They always say, I don't have time, or I don't have time for this, or I don't have time for that. That doesn't fly with me. Someone made a comment about, yeah, well, Big Judah, great video, but I'm busy here. I'm working, trying to put food on the table, and I got kids, and so it's like, okay, yeah, and I don't have time to study as much. I said, okay, well, yeah, I work. I have a family. I have 6 kids. I commute back and forth to work. I find time to study, and I make videos. So I said, so if you're gonna tell me about how busy you are, and everything else, I said, you can save it. I said, either if you want to do this, you'll do it. If you don't, you don't. I said, but the whole I'm busy. I said we're all busy. Everyone's busy. Everyone has things to do. So I'm not. I don't say, but when people say that, I'm like, hey, that's cool, but don't come and try to make it seem as if I'm not busy. I'm just sitting around here reading all day long and making videos, and I don't have other responsibilities. I said I do too. I said, so when you hear stuff like that, it's like, what's your point? I mean, we're all busy. I said, so, but hey, everybody sees things differently. I said, everybody sees things differently. I said, but we're all on a trek to get this knowledge, understanding. The Most High uses all of us to do, his will. He uses all of us as pawns and queens and kings and rooks, knights in his game. We all do the will of the Most High. So like I said, it's just absolutely beautiful how the Most High is working. You know, I don't hold any ill will or whatever else to the brethren, to the people in my nation. I said, because, you know, really, the Most High is going to judge between them and myself. He's the one that knows why certain people do the things that they do and why I'm used to do the things that I do. I'm not perfect. I never said I'm perfect. I make mistakes. I sin just like everybody else. So therefore, I'm not in any position to sit here and say, you know, do this exactly the way I say. I said, I'm not like that. I said, because I already know I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I don't have time, you know, to say, oh, I have all the truth. I have 100% truth, because I don't. You know why? The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are like the same way. The more I learn, the more I read, the more I study, the more I realize, damn, I don't know jack. I thought I knew something before I got into this truth. Thought I had everything kind of, you know, okay, you know, you're in a Christian church, you think you know everything. Oh, I'm like, dude, but you start reading this stuff, I'm like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I learned that today. I didn't know that. Brother Sabal did a video about respect. I might try to share it later on. And he brought out some information that I had never heard of before. I said about the word respect. You know, so it's like, there's a lot of things, like I said, we're learning, I'm learning every day. And I'm learning that I don't know anything, and that I need to study to show myself approved daily. And then I try my best to do, you know, bring out information, you know, for the nation as much as I can. But a good example of something that I learned right before I go is that, like, the sign of the cross. The Druids used the sign of the cross. It was like a towel cross where they would get like one of the most beautiful oak trees, and they would shave off all of the branches, and then they would get like 2 huge branches and put them like on the highest point high point of the tree, and make like a cross. It was like a towel cross. So the sign of the cross was used way before the Christians showed up. The Christians showed up, and they had used, you know, the sign of the cross, and our people were like, oh, well, we know that sign, you know, okay, cool. And they kind of used it to kind of weasel their way in and then turn on us. Now, the sign of the cross, we look at it a lot of times because it's like, oh, it's evil, because it's like, you know, sign like for white Jesus and everything else. But that cross was actually ours before. They used it in a negative way, and they still use it in a negative way. And then we're kind of scared to even, like, I'm even scared to, like, bless myself or whatever else, because I'm like, hold on, you know, that's the sign of the cross, that's the sign of the Christian church. No, it's not. That was ours before they came and bastardized it. Like I said, so it's like, I mean, I learned about this in the book that about the Ur of the Chaldees that Brother Kurumeo shared. I'm going to try to make a video on that. I mean, there's so much information, you know. I said, so like a lot of these things that the church uses was ours originally. They've made it look like it's evil. I said, but it's our information. It's our history. Exactly the same with the misuse of exactly. So this is like, there's so much that we've been lied to and we've been taught is bad and evil. That was actually ours originally, but the Most High is working to get it back to us. All right, but I'm gonna have to stop it right there. I would love to actually continue with you. I see so many people here. We'll try to do another live very soon. But much love, family, and thank you guys so much for supporting me, and thank you for your prayers. And we're going to continue to do this all the way till the wheels fall off. Most High, bless everyone. Shalom.